like pets. Oh my goodness. What a happy boy. Huh?
Him jumping into my space here also tells me that when I go to pick him up later, that it's perfectly fine. I've got consent, right? He's climbing all over me right now. Totally bringing him down.
Shaking it off.
Looking at
Contract
mom.
down to not 0 miles per hour, but probably 5 or 10 miles an hour, right? Versus that.
Now, I want you to think about this for my former force-free purist, my former BAT 2.0 purists. When we talk about under threshold work, classic under threshold work, distance, duration, exposure work is king. But what you're seeing now is a lot of cutting of the corners. For him to be at this distance and clue into mom and be totally copacetic and clue into me and be totally copacetic is such a warp speed path comparatively to, okay, dogs in the distance, let's do some scatter feeding, let's do some look at that training, and then work at X amount of feet, X amount of yards, and then continually work this and burn the clock on the dog, slowly getting comfortable, slowly getting closer. You can see how reinforcement and communication applied timely and succinctly to whatever behaviors are exhibited can absolutely get you there as well, right? So that's what you're going to see in the next two sessions is a different take where we're really relying on communication and reinforcement to get us there because he's super driven. He's super somewhat impulsive, I might say. The food, and the jumping up and then over to mom. He's switching between stimuli pretty quickly. And so some of this stuff is just that he's very output and he's very sensitive. And I think that the barking plays into that too, just as readily as he's like, hey, what's up with that food? He turns and he's like, hey, fuck you, get back. It's so quick. So that's where I think communication and cutting the dog off at the pass, it helps with establishing criterias that are going to be functional and gifting the owners with a game plan where they can take it and they can work it and run with it, especially considering that this dog is going to live in New York in the next like X amount of weeks, right? That is a really busy environment, and there's no such thing as BAT 2.0 in a borough, Brooklyn. It's just not going to work. So we really need to build the sensitivity to how do we get this dog across the finish line, right? A little bit faster.